Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, October 21st. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So give me a few moments to finish setting up this room. And then we can get started shortly with our analysis for today. So just a couple things here to update. Looks good. A couple more things down here. Solid. A few more things here and we should be good to go. I'll make this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, I got the link going right here. Post this up. All right, solid. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. As people join into the room, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the SR zones right here. So over here, it looks like it overlaps. So the market got kind of choppy for a bit, and then it broke out, I think, during news time at 5:30. And then now it's kind of just like, it's all over the place right now. All right, solid. It's good. All right, cool. Got everything marked up right here. I'm going to change this up a little bit. All right, looks good. Price is super far up, so I don't know if price will even come down this far, but we'll just have it up just in case. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, October 21st. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. Morning, Maria. So as the market starts to open up, I'm going to go ahead and mark up a couple of things here, identify a couple of things. So I've marked up the nearby zones. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the overall direction for today, right? So that we can kind of determine, which direction you want to trade in. Right now, the retail sentiment is currently 55% long. Fundamentals are currently negative 49. So they're not very strong right now. 4-hour trend is currently bullish. It's been bullish all week, but price hasn't really been pushing bullish. 1 hour is bearish. So it looks like the 4-hour might be shifting to a bearish bias, but we'll see, as we continue along. Bearish. The 15-minute we'll put neutral bear, or we'll just put bearish because it's like one blue trend meter down there, but it can easily shift. And this can shift too. What we'll do here is we'll just do neutral. And for the bottom right here, we'll do neutral bullish, because the market just kind of spiked up, a few minutes ago, but it's not necessarily indicating that it's going to hold. So let's see where this goes. But for the most part, now you guys can see it's pretty mixed. There's no real direction in the market. Retail sentiment is currently 55% long. That indicates that 55% of retail traders are currently buying. So you want to do the opposite and sell. The fundamentals are also in that direction. That's also indicating that we should probably look for a sell there as well. 4-hour trend's bullish, but it looks like you might be shifting too. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to make its way to the downside. So we got that right there. It is currently bullish, but since everything's turning bearish, this can shift in the other direction as well. 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 15 minutes neutral bearish, and the 10-minute is neutral bullish, but it literally just became bullish for like that last few candles. So we'll see how this holds. Market is opening in about 4 minutes. We have like no real direction right now in the market. Another thing that's an issue here is that there's a lot of sessions all throughout the area. So we have the Asia high right here. We have the, let me mark it up. We have the Asia high right here. We have the London low right here. We've got the New York low down here. And we've got the last Asia low way down here. So we got a lot of sessions around this area. If price does push below, we definitely want it to be below all of these sessions because these are all considered one of the highest red flags or to avoid trades. So we typically want price to be down here. If we can get price down here, great. If not, it's okay. We'll try to make the best of what we've got. But looking over here at the news as well, looks like we had news this morning at 5:30. Actually at 6:10. This was Canadian news. At 6:10, Fed member Williams started speaking. So that's probably why the market started moving a little crazy a little while ago. And I think that's about it. We don't really have too much news today. We had Fed member Williams speaking at 6:10, but I'm not going to mark that up because he could have started at any moment, not necessarily exactly at 6:10. So we'll see where this goes. Market is opening in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. And we'll see where this takes us. Hey, Ross, morning. One second, guys. All right, guys, market is opening in about 1 minute. So let's see what happens here on open. Looking at the overall bias, as I mentioned, there's no real overall bias here. I don't even think we'll be able to take a breakout because when the market opens in the next minute or so, if it breaks out to the upside, it's going to hit these sessions. If it breaks out to the bottom side, it's going to hit these sessions right here. So what I'll do for the breakout is I'll mark it up if we see a possible entry, but I don't recommend anyone take it. I'm not going to take myself for sure because there's so many red flags around this area here. If you guys remember the red flags right here, I just put up the text says red flags when to avoid trades. The first one is when price is near sessions, which is basically any of these horizontal lines right here, right? So that's going to be the #1 red flag. The reason we do that is because you see a lot of manipulation when price reaches this point. Like for example, here, price came up here, it faked out to the upside, then it came right back down. Same with this right here. Price came up, faked out, came down. Price came down to here to this sessions, faked out, came up. It's not a good area to trade because there's no certainty as to which direction price will actually keep going, whether it's going to fake out or whether it's going to keep pushing. So the market is now open, guys. I'm going to mark up opening price right there. So this is opening price right there, and we'll see where this goes. I mean, there's a lot of sessions around the area, so we'll probably have to wait for it to come below here in order for us to take an entry, which is fine. I'm also going to go over here to the clean chart so that you guys can have an idea what market structure is looking like, because realistically, price is just going sideways right now. It's not really moving directional at all. And I'll show you real quick. How can I determine that, right? If you don't know what market structure looks like at the moment, you're kind of confused. Which all you need to do is turn on the K2 high-low indicator. So right here, we have no indicators. You turn on the K2 high-low indicator, and then you mark up all of the high lows that have not been broken. So this one up here, this one up here, this one, and current price. If you guys see that closely right there, you guys can see that price is and was ranging, all throughout this area right here. So this is a range right now. right? It's not really doing too much, just ranging around that area. And we'll have to see, where this goes from there. But yeah, this is pretty much all that we have, at the moment. Here is the chart markup, and you can see price comes down and bounces directly off these sessions right here, right? So this is why we avoid the sessions, because you can see right there, price came down, bounced directly off the sessions. Now it's faking back up, faking out right back up, and coming right back to opening price right here. So today's going to be a bit of a tricky Friday because we need price to push away from these sessions. So in order for us to take any entries here, we need this to happen. We need price to either push up, come back down for the retest, and continue up higher, or we need it in the opposite direction. We need price to come down, break below here, and continue lower. If we could get any of these directions here, this is where we'll likely be trading, right? We need price to stay above here or price to stay below here because it will push away from the sessions. If you look closely, there's if you can't see the lines on the chart right here, just look to the right. We have the Asia high, London low, New York low, and Asia low right here. So we really need to get below all these points to be able to take some trades in this direction or this direction. For right now, I mean, obviously, definitely no entries at the moment. So just gotta sit tight, wait for price to push in either direction. And then once we have that, we can, start taking trades in that direction. So here we go. It's price faked out below here, and careful for price to fake out again above here. So fake out right there, and then possible fake out right here too. Price comes back into the range. Right, fake out and fake out right here too. So we're basically just waiting for this to confirm and play out, but we don't have that yet. Check my FX book, make sure there's no other news here. Yeah, no news today. There's news at 10 o'clock, but we won't be trading around that time. So this is kind of the downside to not having news today, because since there's no news, we might not get enough volatility to break out of this area. Price might just keep ranging around this area, throughout the New York session. But we'll see. At some point, price is going to break out one way or the other. So we don't have a direction set just yet, but we're just waiting for it to play out here. Let's see. Patrick said, with so many time frames and retail showing bearish, I'm kind of waiting for the 10-minute daily to print, then watch for the 1-minute entries within it. Yeah, no, that's a smart idea, Pat, and that's exactly why I'm looking for it to come down as well, because you can see right here on the 10. I'm gonna go down to the you can see over here on the 10. This is bullish. I mean, it's bearish and it's starting to make its way down. So I'm just gonna wait for it to leave it at neutral, wait for it to actually make its way down, just like you are, because I do think it's gonna come down. Same with right here on the 15-minute. Everything's pretty much bearish on the shorter time frames. So with it being bearish right here, these are likely to follow right on the higher time frame. So the 10-minute is the next one that's going to come. If price closes below the pivots or even in the middle of the pivots, I can expect it to start dropping. So I'm on the same boat with you there, Patrick. I'm waiting for it to come down so we can look for an entry there. So yeah, if we wait for that to print, then possible entry for a, obviously a sell. A lot of zones around this area. A couple things to look out for here. Yeah, so areas of rejection right there. Here you can see better on the 10-minute. You can see prices coming up, and it just keeps bouncing off these areas right here. What we're looking for, what Pat's looking for, is looking for a sell signal to come up here. to confirm the direction. So we'll come back to that. You can see here, price just keeps going back and forth. So there's no clear direction, but for the most part, I'm looking for it to come down as well, Patrick. It's just a matter of time until it does. But you can see right here, price is likely to keep continuing to test these areas. Looks like another fake out right here. Yeah, price faked out, came back below. Looks like it's going to fake out again right here and come back below a second time, third time. Hey, Karen, morning. All right, but still no direction here. If price pushes up, that's fine too. It's just we need to get away from these sessions right here. If we get away from the sessions, great. If not, then we just got to keep waiting. So whether it goes down, whether it goes up, either one works fine for us. The main entries we're looking for here, we're not applying no variations because there's no overall bias, right? Overall direction. I mean, possible for a sell if price does come below here. If price comes below this area, then we can possibly look for variations. But since we have a sideways market right here, we're basically looking for SR rejection entries. Otherwise, if price does get above here, then we'll look for some high-low quick scalps. But yeah, definitely no variations at the moment. I think this will be a good indication as to like where price is going. Price breaks above this area, then possibly continuation. If not, it's probably going to keep coming back down. Just have to wait and see where this plays out. But it looks like, I mean, there was a V1 right here. I don't know if anyone spotted that. There was a V1 here, double body. Price came down, came back up. So it looks like price is retracing up to this red candle right here. So you can see how price came down and then it came directly up. It's almost at the full way mark. I mean, it got to the halfway mark right here. So this might be its rejection as it comes back down. But I mean, we'll see. It's got structure right there built up. And there we go, another fake out. So this is why you want to be very careful about taking trades around this area. This is not a good area to trade. So you can see how many times it's faked out. Price dropped below, huge spike right here, big wick, spiked right back up, came up here, kind of lured in some more buyers. As soon as people entered this trade, spiked right back down. And this spike is not a small spike, right? This thing spiked down like 1,000 pips, 1,100 pips. So again, right here, another fake out, price pushed up, faked out up there, and then out spiking right back into the range. About 1,000 pip drawdown right there, almost. So, my word of advice is to just be patient, guys. Wait for it. I'm with Pat. I'm looking for the sells here. It doesn't look like price is going to be bearish overall for the day. And that's kind of why I drew this right here. I'm looking for it to come below here to get away from all these sessions. Once price gets down here, I'm expecting price to continue dropping. It's just going to be a matter of time. But when it does, you'll be ready to look for some sells here. And the good thing about this too is that if and when price comes below here, we'll have all of these zones. And with all of these zones here, we'll have opportunities to take SR rejections down here and also high-low quick scalps. It's just a matter of time. Back to the clean chart. There we go, the fake out right back into the range. So this week's been kind of tricky. If you guys have noticed the market, Monday was pretty good. It was pretty directional. It looked like we were hoping the market was going to keep moving like that throughout the week. But Tuesday was kind of choppy all over the place. We didn't take any trades that day. Wednesday, same thing, similar to Tuesday. Yesterday was a little better. We took 2 trades, both wins, no losses. And then today, it's kind of a mixture of the middle of the week. So we're not really having much direction here. I'm going to go and mark up opening price, which is 630 right here. Also going to mark up actual opening price, which is right there. Also got that at 7 and right there at 8. I just drew that there so that you guys can see the direction. There is obviously no direction here, right? Market opened right here, price faked out to the bottom, faked out to the top, faked out to the bottom, faked out to the top, and now it's right back where opening price was. So it's like price didn't even go anywhere. It's literally right back down to the middle right here. So we'll we'll see where this takes us, but I mean, realistically, there's nothing for us to take right now. If anything, I could probably set an alert here for the momentum. Let's put bar. So we can just use that so that when that triggers, it'll let us know like, hey, price is moving in this direction on the 10-minute, and then it will allow us to look and see if, we should be trading that direction. So we're looking for that sell signal. So when I get a sell signal here, I'm going to get alert on my chart. Once I get that alert, I'll take a look at the 10-minute. I'll start looking for some sells possibly. Maybe at that point, price will start dropping. So sometimes if you guys are waiting for something like that, you guys can do what I did, just set an alert. If you're waiting for these momentum signals, you just right click, go to add alert, go to K2TS, which is the momentum indicator, and you put signal fired. It'll give you both buys and sells. If you do buy, sells, only sells. All right, here we go. As price starts to finally make its way down. But keep in mind that there's a session right here, this green one, it's a New York low, and then down here, there's an Asia low right here as well. So 2 sessions right there. We really just need price to be at like way down here though. That's gonna be the main key. See, Jonathan said the New York daily has been hitting lately and pretty fast too. Yeah, no, exactly. I noticed that too, especially when you sent the screenshot, Jonathan. So that's why I'm kind of looking for it to come down, because if it does come down, it'll probably provide us, at least some sell entries to make its way in that direction. But looking at current price, again, nothing going on here. Just another fake out, about 3 fake outs now at this time. So price came up, faked out, came down, came right back up, faked out, came back down, came back up, another fake out. And then it's probably going to pull right back into the zone again. Yeah, there's just like not really much going on here at all. All right. So as you can see, price is just going back and forth. Here we go. As price attempts to make its way outside again. I'm assuming this is going to be another fake out, probably a higher fake out though, but I mean, we'll see. So looking over here, it's right at the sessions. You can't see that on the clean chart, but we'll see if it breaks above. I mean, if it breaks above, that's fine. We can start looking for some temporary buys. But for the most part, I think this is probably going to be another fake out. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle. I wouldn't be surprised if, price pushes up and then it comes crashing right back down to this area right here down the middle. So if price does close above here, the main things to really look out for is whether price comes back below and closes within this area, or if it comes down and tests the area and then it comes back up higher. So I wouldn't recommend chasing this right here, guys. Let's take a look at the fundamentals right now. Fundamentals are currently up about 95 points, not super high, but they are up. So I'll change this right here, plus 95. Sentiment over here is currently 54%. So it hasn't really changed much. But yeah, I don't recommend chasing this bullish push just yet. I mean, you want to wait for that retracement because you want to confirm that it's actually pushing up and it's not just a fake out, right? The thing is, if you enter the trade right here and you get, pulled back into it, you're going to go into some massive drawdown, because this will probably retrace back to the at least the sessions, and that's over 1,000 pips. So I'll just be careful with chasing any of these moves here. I don't think there's any news really causing price to go up like that. Let me see. Yeah, the Dow just went up 100 points, like immediately. See, news from CNBC, breaking news. Stocks fall slightly as investors weigh potential for Fed to slow rate hikes. Yeah, so that's probably why price pushed up. There's some news here from CNBC. Basically, they're indicating that the Fed, may likely slow the rate hikes, which I mean might be the case here, but this is all temporary, right? They're just slowing the rate hikes. They didn't say they're going to stop it. They're just slowing it. So a lot of this is just speculation in the market. People think, okay, is the Fed going to slow down rate hikes? It's going to be good for the market. It's going to be good for the market temporarily, but when the rates go up even higher, it's not going to be. So let's see, while a 75-point basis point rate hike is still highly expected for the November Fed meeting, traders increased chances that December meeting would just be a 50 basis point move. So this is all temporary, guys. Like this doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to keep raising raising the rates. They're just going to raise it slower, like a bit slower. But I mean, even so, that's why I wouldn't chase the buy here. I mean, this is just going to get propped up and then it's going to come crashing back down eventually. I don't know if the Fed's even speaking right now. Are they done? So I can't tell because he's not live. I don't think there's any links here for it. Or Fed. Yeah, they haven't really covered anything here. So, I mean, we'll see. But here we go with the top over here. You can see it's a double wick. This is a reversal pattern. Price might be coming back down. I wouldn't recommend chasing it down though. Because this might just, start consolidating around this area. But yeah, this is a reversal pattern right here. You guys can see double wick rejecting. This is a V1. This would be a good V1 if the overall bias was bearish, but we don't have that overall bias right now, right? If you look over here at our bias, it is bearish, but if you look back now, it's going to be different. So right here, you can see that 10-minute was neutral. I'm pretty sure it's going to be bullish now. So if you go to the 10-minute, it's now bullish. So no longer neutral. Looking over here on the 15, it's also bullish. But this is all temporary. So I don't know if this is going to hold, because if price comes back down and retraces, and it's going to shift back down. 30-minute is now neutral. And this is why it's key that you guys go and identify what's going on all these time frames, because these slightly change, but you can see here price is now coming down. It's doing pretty much what we anticipated. As well, I was telling you guys not to chase it, because if you guys chased it, it's now in drawdown about 800 pips. It's a lot of pips. Pat said high-low scalp, a huge candle. Yeah, I know exactly this one right here. So there was a high-low scalp here, what Pat was identifying. This is a normal high-low scalp, not a quick scalp. But this is a normal scalp. Price broke structure, and it continued pushing up higher. Right. So yeah, price is starting to consolidate around this upper area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to clean this up a little bit so that we can identify the new market structure. I mean, either or, still not good. Couple lows right there, high right there. So we'll see if price establishes a low at some point here. If it does, then it will possibly be a new range for price. So if we get a low right here, it's going to be a potential entry for a high-low quick scalp, but I'm not going to take the first one, right? The reason why I'm not taking the first one is because target price point for price to come back and retest to confirm the bullish move is down here. So it still has a long way to go. Let me just clean this up a little bit. So the last thing you want to do is enter a high-low quick scalp at some point right here. And you have all this area right here to get stopped out, right? If your stop loss is 200 pips, like what I'm typically using, it's way too tight. So if it goes down even a little bit, you'll definitely get stopped out. So what I'll do here is I'll wait for at least maybe one entry to come up for a high-low quick scalp. And then once that hits, then I'll take the next one that continues, right? Just main things to, obviously look out for here. So there's no V1 continuation here, Madhu. In order to get a V1 continuation, you still need a low. So it's based off the low, right? You would need a low with a double body. So we don't have any lows here right now. So there's no continuation at the moment. Let's see. Patrick's asking, Sean, are you switching to 100, 200 for all your 1 minute entries or only running it for the high-low quick scalps? So currently at the moment, I'm only running it for the high-low quick scalps. I might just shift it for pretty much all the 1 minute strategies, because typically when you're taking like the SR rejection or even any of the other strategies, when it hits TP, it usually doesn't go into drawdown at all, right? So I think we might be shifting it. I mean, depends if the volatility stays high. The reason why we needed that high stop loss before, or wide stop loss, was because the spread was always super wide. Now typically spreads like around 180 or less. Before it was like around 190, close to like 200 sometimes, but now that it's starting to lower, we'll be able to tighten our stop loss, and it'll be a lot better for a lot of us too, because if you do have a loss, and a lot of people don't like having the negative risk reward, at least it's only a 1 to 2. So if you lose one trade, the next two will make it right back instead of the next three. So I'll keep you guys updated if we do change that. The market changes all the time. When the conditions change and the volatility stays high, then we can shift things around. But I don't know. We'll see. We just don't have that confirmation just yet, whether price is going to move directional or not. I mean, we've been waiting for the market to move directional for about like 2 months now. Typically market starts moving very directional into the fall, but it's been a slow transition. You guys can see right here that the market is bullish now. So market opened right here, faked out below, came back above, consolidated for a bit, now pushed up. So we might have a bullish bias for today, but we got to actually wait for this to confirm it. And it looks like it is confirming a bit here as price continues to climb higher. The problem with this here is that this is all based off the Fed news, right? I showed you right here on CNBC that this is basically a lot of speculation. Traders raise chances for lower Fed rate and Fed rate hike in December. And they're basically just basing this stuff off the Fed speaking right now. Because I think, let me see. Yeah, we can't watch this because let me check on YouTube real quick. Fed Williams, he is not live. So they're not live streaming him, or they're not giving let's see. Yeah, there's no live stream of his speech right now, so I don't really even know what he's talking about. I mean, of course they're talking about the economy and rate hikes, but we can't really follow along with like what he's actually discussing. So we'll just have to see how the market reacts to it. So this is the problem of chasing buys here. If you guys do chase a buy when he's done speaking, or if things start to change, this will just come right back down, because price needs to correct at some point. Price has been pushing up for a bit, and it'll likely correct, after the news is done, unless price continues to push up higher from this point. But we'll have to just see where this goes. Yeah, there's nothing going on here on the 1 minute. Let's check the 3 minute real quick. There's nothing on the 3 minute. There's no daily entry that came up. 5 minute, no daily entry. 10 minutes, still nothing going on here. Price broke through all of this structure here. So what I'll do here is I'll mark up other areas of structure. There's actually structure right here. So we got structure up here, and we'll see if price comes down from this point. It's just it's just a bit of a wacky market this morning. There's just no other news today. So typically on Friday, there's like a decent amount of news to push price around. Other than the Fed speaking, there's not really much else going on. But I see this as a lot of speculation. If you go on the higher time frames, like the 4 hour, you guys can see here that it's not really making a huge impact in the market. This price is still dropping. And I'm not expecting any reversal. Like what you would look for here is rejection and continuation, right? So let me see if I can find an example right here. So an example is like right here. This is like back in September. So in September, price pushed above it, faked out right here. But then it came right back down. I mean, it's the same thing that's kind of happening right here. Price is just pushing up higher. But I don't think it's time for a correction just yet. Back to the 10. See, Maddie said it's at his 1 hour supply right now. And Maddie thinks he thinks it's going to push for a bit before it drops back down. Yeah, no, I mean, the target area right here where price might come up and test is going to be up here. Well, let's draw these. I'll draw the old zone. So there's a couple old zones here. Those are where price is currently at. Next one right there. Yeah, a lot of areas of rejection from this point. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, there's no entries for us to take here anyways. I mean, even if we were looking to take some buys here, there's no entries for any variations. There's no entries for no continuations or high-low quick scalps. In order to take any of those entries, we need price to actually retrace, right? Because we want that retracement and continuation, which we don't have yet. Price hasn't even established a high yet here. It just keeps pushing up higher and higher, which eventually it's going to hit a top. So that's why you guys want to be very careful about chasing this or taking anything here for a buy, because it's still looking to top out. Even with this one right here, this was there was a high here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 candles, and it didn't establish the high. So yeah, you might want to sit tight and wait for that to confirm. One of the key things to look out for would be a big wick. If you see a big wick, price is probably going to reverse, right? If you look back over here to whenever price had big wick right here on the high, price came down. Big wick on the high right here, price came down. So let's keep looking at the highs here. As price continues to push up higher, you're looking for the power to pretty much lose its steam and wait for it to come back down. See, Kenny said, hopefully next week will be better. Yeah, no, and I agree, Kenny. This week wasn't so great. I mean, it wasn't horrible because we haven't had any losses this week, but it still wasn't great. Like we had a couple trades on Monday, a couple trades yesterday. But I mean, that would only be the case if you guys had the discipline in sitting out the market with me, right? If you guys traded during Monday and if you guys traded on Tuesday and Wednesday, that was a toss up. Like, I mean, some people did good. Some people didn't do amazing, but I didn't trade at all myself. So if you guys didn't trade those days, you guys should be fine because we had nothing but wins on Monday and Thursday. So here goes, price continues to push up. If you go and measure this to see how far price is pushed, it's pushed up quite a bit. So from this low right here up until this high, price is actually pushed up 4,410 pips. So that's a really big push within a short period. So within 20 minutes, price is pushed up over 4,000 pips, almost 5,000 pips so far. So what I'm looking for here is for the swing back down. It's going to happen eventually. You can see this big wick right here. That becomes the case, you know, price might be coming down to a couple different levels right here, or it'll probably come down and test. So price does come back down. This will be the first level. Next level right there. I'm surprised there's no lows that were established though. So right here, it looks like this may be a double body. If you get that double body candle right there, it's a reversal pattern. Likeliness of it dropping at least, you know, a certain amount. It's possible. We'll see. All right, so we're getting the double body rejection right here. This is technically a V1. It would be a V1 if we had an overall bias for a sell, but we don't have that right now. Let's take a look at sentiment real quick. So sentiment here has shifted quite a bit. It's 51% short. So it actually did the complete opposite. It went from long to short. Yeah, Maddie said candle's too big and no bias or V1. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. So there's no bias right now for a sell. In order to take the V1, so I'll put the requirements up here again for the V1. So first you want to confirm the overall bias, right? Retail sentiment, fundamental bias, technical bias. Looking at retail sentiment right now, it's currently 51% short. Fundamentals are up by about 100 points at least. So this is indicating a neutral to bullish bias. The reason for that is because the retail sentiment is completely neutral, it's 50%. You can't really take any trades off that. Fundamentals here are bullish. I think they're up 100 points or so. They're up pretty high, actually, 335 points. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of this stuff is based off the news from today, right? From the Fed speaking. So that's why I wouldn't recommend chasing it. Because the thing is, if you're bandwagoning onto these buys, it's too late. You guys already missed the entire move. Price is pushed up over 4,000 pips. So it's not the time to enter any buys right now. If anything, you're looking for the reversal back down. This price will likely have to retrace and come back down and retest these sessions right here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here and waiting for. I'm looking for price to come back down. It's way too overextended for a buy. It's going to have to come down at some point. So for the V1 variation here, there's no retail sentiment bias. So we'll knock that out. Fundamental bias here is bullish. 4-hour trend is also bullish. 1-hour trend bullish. 30-minute. I'm pretty sure this is now bullish, right? The 1 hour. Yeah. But for how long, right? It's just one candle, so we'll have to see if this continues to hold, obviously. So right here, this would technically be a high-low quick scalp, but again, I'm not looking to take this trade here because I'm worried that price will reverse from this point. So I'll mark it up here, but I'm not taking the trade. So it looks like it might have hit TP already right there. It's just too risky of a move. You can see how tight the parameters are. If it comes down even a little bit to this low, you're gonna get stopped out. But right there, you can see that it pushes right through the TP. So that's the first one right there. If we have one right there and the price continues to push up, I'll likely take the next one. But this one right here was just our tester. You can see that it actually hit. If you guys are familiar with this strategy, or you guys are wondering what strategy this is the high-low quick scalp. So for a buy here, identify bullish direction using momentum indicator. Right here, we have a bullish direction. Second, identify the low. The low is right over here. Third, confirm the bottom wick rejection off the following candle. It's the bottom wick right there, and this would have been the entry. So we got that there, but you guys can see how small this range is, right? It's super tight, so that's why you want to be very careful about taking these entries here. All right, so it looks like volatility is kind of dying down a bit. Let me go over here and mark this up. Again, this is another area that we don't like when market moves. So if you guys remember from the past couple of days, Tuesday and Wednesday, I mentioned that another red flag, or I guess we can consider red flag, is when a lot of these high lows come up right after each other, right? So for example, down here, you guys can see how like every candle after each other has a high low, right? So this is fine from this area to this area, this is fine. But from here, we have a low, high, low, high, low, high that keep coming up. Whenever you get something like that, that'll indicate that price is consolidating. So when you have something like that, you don't want to take the high, low, quick scalps. When you have them kind of spread out, like kind of right here, price is actually spreading out right now. This is actually not too bad, but you don't want it when they're so close to each other like this, because this will just, let's make a mess of things. So got that right there as a low. And if price pushes up higher, that's completely fine. So we have one right here. We have a high, a low, high. We get another low next. That's going to provide us the opportunity to actually hop into this here for a high, low, quick scalp. The zones down here are pretty irrelevant. I don't think price is going to come down to there anytime soon. So we're not going to have any entries for any SR rejections anytime within the near time differential. But price is reaching these sessions right here. So here's the thing that I'm looking for next. If price pushes up here and establishes a high, I'm looking for it to come back down, establish a low, because the target price point now is going to be this sessions. If you look at price, typically when price pushes around, it aims for the next sessions, right? It acts like a magnet. So for example, right here, price came below here, broke above, reached this area here. And when price was around this middle area, we were anticipating it to come back and retest this area right here, right? That's a scenario number one. Scenario number two is reaching this area up here, which is the next section. So for me to take a buy here, we're not looking for any SR rejection because there's no zones around this area. What I'm looking for here is a high, low, quick scalp. So what I need to happen is I need price to retrace a little bit and continue. If I can get this, then great. This price will push up, establish a low here. Once it establishes a low, we can take this quick little push for 100 pips. So it's just about patience here, waiting for this to actually play out. That's going to be the closest session. So that's going to be the area that I'm looking to take. Also, if we get a V1 variation, you can take that as well. All right, so as price bounces around this area, let me see if there's anything else here for us to look at. All right, so this 10-minute candle here actually didn't even close above it yet. It's on the last minute right here. So if price does break the structure, next area for it to test is going to be above here. So it's the same pattern that we're looking for here on the 1 minute, but this is on the higher time frame, the 10. So price is already above here. Retest, continuation, the upside. Like that. Same thing that we're looking for here. All right, so we'll see where this goes. And there's not really much going on. It looks like the volatility is kind of dying down a bit, which is, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just going to take longer for the CPs to hit. All right, so we'll see what happens here, but price is now back into a range, which is fine. So market opened right here at 6:30, guys. You guys can see that price faked out to the bottom, then it pushed up, confirmed a bullish move right here. Broke into the 7 o'clock hour, 7 to 8. From this point, price again went back into an area of consolidation. When it's an area of consolidation like this, it's not really a good area to take these directional trades, but we do have the overall bias over here. Let me see if I could find. So 10-minute obviously bearish. I mean bullish. 15 is bullish. 30 minutes bullish. 16-minute or 1 hour is bullish, and the 4-hour also bullish there. All right, so we have a possible. One thing that you want to look out for, so we do have the low right here. You want to be careful for that pending sell signal, right? So when this candle here closes, or I mean, we'll see if it closes with the sell signal. If it closes with the sell signal, then obviously no entries for us to take. But if it closes with the low with no sell signal, we need to watch the next candle to see if it has a pending momentum. If it does, definitely no entry for this high-low quick scalp. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle here. As we get closer to the 10-second mark, that will kind of indicate, whether price will continue attempting for that sell signal. If not, then it's gonna wait for it. At the last 5 seconds here. So it looks like it's going to close. And now at this point, there's no opportunity for any buy entries because momentum is now for a sell. So unfortunately, that played out right there. I mean, fortunately, but unfortunately. Fortunately, we didn't like FOMO into this trade because you guys waited for it to actually close out. But unfortunately, now we're not going to have that high-low quick scalp that we were planning on taking right here, which would have actually hit TP. So yeah, unfortunately, if this did not close with the sell signal, then we would have had our entry right there. This is a possible entry for a V1, but I'm not looking to take any V1s right now because we don't have that strong overall bias. I mean, we do have a bias for a buy right now, but sentiment here is usually our main factor with identifying that. And the sentiment here is changing a lot. So you guys can see here that a lot of retail traders are getting screwed up in the market, or they're kind of getting pushed around, right? This was like 54% long. Now it's 54% short. It's a change of like 10% within a couple minutes. So again, right here, this would be a V1. Fortunately, we didn't take the trade. I just find this to be a little too risky. This would be a V1 here. Reason for the V1s that we have the double wick rejection right here. So double wick rejection. It's a reversal pattern, and then price pushed up and spiked right to TP, right? So, as I mentioned, I only take V1s when the sentiment is high. It's not as high yet. All right, nothing here at the moment. Natasha's asking, so you would take that V1 if the retail sentiment was 60%? Yeah, so that's the threshold, Natasha. If it was at 60%, then I for sure, because I'd be trading opposite of everyone. The reason why I would do that is because if the retail sentiment here increases, this is indicating that a lot of people are thinking that price is going to come down, right? So if a lot of people think price is coming down, the market makers and institutions are not going to make it that easy for people to just take sells and make money, right? They're going to screw with them. They're going to like push price up. And if they push price even 100 pips, that's enough to hit our TP there, right? We're basically outsmarting the market because the market is trying to do the opposite of everybody else. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to do the opposite of everyone else as well. So we're basically just, it's a chess game. You're basically identifying, what the opponent is doing. The opponent here is retail traders. Even though we are retail traders, we don't want to trade like a retail trader. We want to do the opposite. So if I'm looking here and retail is starting to sell, the market makers are looking to outsmart them too. So we're trying to do the same thing that the market makers and institutions are doing, which is opposite of everybody else. So that's why I'm looking over here to see where everybody's trading. And this is why the retail sentiment is so important, because this really gives you an insight as to like where everybody's trading. You don't want to trade, you don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Everyone usually, like majority of people don't do well at trading because everyone copies each other. You want to do the opposite and basically do the opposite. So let me just check. I'll even Google it for you guys. So like percentage of successful. So if you look right here, so, they ask, is day trading profitable? It says the success rate for making money from day trading is actually quite low. Depending on the source, only about 5 to 20% of day traders consistently make money. That means that up to 95% fail and lose money by day trading. So if 95% of people fail at day trading, right, you don't want to do what everybody's doing. You want to do the complete opposite. And that's what we're doing. That's why we've been so successful with our trading over the years, because we're doing the opposite of everybody. So if there's 95% of people who suck at trading and retail sentiment shows what everybody's doing, then you obviously don't want to do what everybody's doing, right? That's why you want to focus on this number here. When this number goes down to 60%, that means that, majority of people are trading that direction. So if everyone's looking for sells, I'm going to do the opposite and buy. If everyone's looking for buys, I'm going to do the opposite and sell, right? It's just basic logic, right? If you could do the probability here, if like 90% of people are going to lose money, I'm not going to do what 90% are doing. I'm going to do what the 10% are doing, which is opposite of them. So just, you put 2 and 2 together and you'll find the solution there. So that's the reason why I'm not looking to take any sells right now, because yeah, price might come down a little bit, but as price continues to come down, it's probably going to shoot back up to stop those people out. Because the thing is, if you keep stopping people out, they're not going to put any more money into the market, and that's how the market makers and institutions make money. So yeah, I'm pretty much waiting for this to come back up. It's just, it's a slow grind right now because the market is so slow. So, I mean, yeah, that's basically what our goal here is basically identifying what the majority are doing. If the majority is doing one thing, obviously want to do the opposite. So we can't take any buys here because we don't have a bullish momentum. Price is going sideways. So like realistically here, there's like there's not that many steps of trading, right? So like step by step guide to be a successful day trader, and it's not really that difficult. I feel like a lot of people overcomplicate it. I mean, yeah, what we do here is a little complicated, but if you really have a step by step, it's not that difficult, right? So for one, identify where majority is trading. So that's what we use retail sentiment, right? You do that. Second, identify entries in opposite direction. Execute entry when probability is highest. So I mean, that's really what it is. And then fourth, trade psychology is always going to be key, guys. These first steps here are not that difficult. I already gave you guys basically the blueprint to identify where the majority is trading. It's retail sentiment. That's all you need. Identifying entries here, you can apply whatever strategies that you guys know. It doesn't have to be one of our strategies, but if you're looking for an entry in the opposite direction of everybody else, that's all you're looking for. Identifying entries with the highest probability is basically looking for entries that align, right? So like, for example, if we have a couple entries here, or we have one entry with multiple strategies on it, then you can easily hop into the trade there and get in and out super quickly. So, but yeah, trade psychology is a key thing here. The problem with like trading this way is that a lot of people start to get psyched out, right? If they see price continuing to drop, what happens is the trade psychology gets screwed up because they think, oh, they're missing this move, and they hop into a sell. As soon as they enter the trade, they get stopped out. So it's always just sticking to the plan. This is why it's always key that you guys have, your requirements set up here. Like, so you guys can see my requirements here. They don't change. The only time I take entries is if the requirements are met. The only difference is when there's red flags in the area. So yeah, I mean, most of the time it's just a waiting game, guys, especially for being a day trader. A lot of people think that when you're a day trader, you're constantly entering and exiting trades. We do, but probably not at the rate that you guys see like in movies and stuff, or like how you guys feel. Like, if you guys think people are hitting buy and sell every other second, that's a quick way to blow your account. So it's actually the opposite, waiting for these perfect entries and then entering when we have that opportunity. So you have a couple of profits over here posted for this morning. So Al posted some profits. He's currently at about 3,000 for the day. He had one loss, the rest are straight wins. So nice work right there, Al. We have Scotty over here currently up 2,045 for the day. Nice work, Scotty. Looks like he took those buys as price pushed up earlier in the session. Patricia over here as well. Patricia said, done for the week. Have a great weekend. Patricia locked in a total profit of 8,862. So she was trading in both directions right here. Actually, no. So this morning she was just taking buys, it looks like. But yeah, no, great work, Patricia. So if you guys did take trades off the analysis and just, took trades as prices moving around, great. If not, it's okay. I didn't take any trades myself. Still waiting for some sort of entry here to provide me a stable entry, but there's just no stable entry right now. Price just going back and forth. Not really too much going on here. All right. So let's see. 10-minute trend is still bullish. 15 is still bullish. There just isn't too much going on in the market today. I mean, typically I don't trade on Fridays anyways, but if there's something good, I will take it. It's just today is pretty dead. I was hoping to take at least one entry today, but we'll see. If something provides us something good to take, then great. If not, then I'm not going to force anything here. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to continue back up, right? Right now, price is basically, it's luring in some more sellers. That's kind of what I see happening right here. If we get this buy signal here, then great. I think price will continue pushing back up. But what I see happening right here is I see the market luring in some more sellers. Because if you look at the sentiment over here, it's starting to increase. It was at 51%, now it's at 54, and then now it's at 55. So as this number here continues to increase, you're going to see a lot of retail traders hop onto the sell side, which is perfect for us because this is what we're looking for. We want them to stack more sellers here so that once we have our entry here for a buy, this thing's just going to spike up and blast right through our TP, right? So I want them to churn more sellers into the market. As they continue to do this slow churn down, what they're doing is basically they're dropping price down, consolidating, dropping price down, consolidating. And they're just going to keep doing this, right? Until more sellers enter the market. Once there's enough sellers in the market, it's going to skyrocket right back up. And it's probably going to come up and test this area right here. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this to happen so I can catch my little 100 pips right here, lock in my 1,000 for the day, and then wrap it up. Thanks, Peter. Peter said in 35 minutes, President Biden delivers remarks on historic deficit reduction his economic plan is achieving. Good old Biden. So we'll see how that plays out. This Biden is speaking at about 8 o'clock. He's going to deliver his remarks on the historic deficit reduction of his economic plan. Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. I can't wait for the elections. When the elections come around, the market's going to be a lot more volatile because Biden's going to be saying all this stuff to just, keep his place in house. You're going to have a lot of other politicians doing the same thing. So you're going to see some craziness during that time. If you guys don't know when elections are, I think it starts like on November 11th or something like that. I have it on my calendar here. But I believe it's like early middle November. Zelensky wars Russia may attack major hydroelectric dam. Moscow orders arrest rebellious reporter. So the war in Ukraine is still going on. Obviously, you guys know that. Crazy thing is none of it's being televised anymore. It's barely being televised. Right, back to the charts over here. Here goes, price starts to drop even further. Check the sentiment again. Sentiment is still at 55. So there's no retail traders that are getting into the market, but the market makers are starting to, or they're trying to lure them in, but nobody's hopping into these sells. So, I think people are starting to get scared. That's kind of what I see happening here. People are getting scared to it, and they're getting worried about what's going to happen next. If price is going to swing back up or if it's going to continue dropping. There were a couple of sell entries right here, but the bias for this was not bearish. So if you guys can see here, we had the sell signal, price drop below, provided a high right here. There could have been an entry here for a sell, but not one that I would personally take myself because it is obviously a little risky right there. So just waiting for price to come back up. The 10-minute here never gave a signal, or I guess it did. So it faked out right here. You guys can see the fake out at this moment. Price came up. This was actually a double body. So there was a V1 double body right here off this high. This right here came dropping down pretty heavy. I mean, it wasn't a smooth drop down, but it did come down pretty heavy right there on the 10-minute. So a possible V1 right here, not a V1 that I'm looking to take, but a V1 indicating possible reversal back to the upside. Let's see. Maddie, what do you think of this V1 right here? I'm not going to take it. I'm going to see how it plays out, because if this plays out as a V1, then that's fine, because we'll get a buy signal, and then when it comes back up, we can take a high-low quick scalp. But I don't want to hop into the first one. It's just it's too risky. Yeah, so there's a V1 entry right here. Maddie said we need Trump back. Yeah, I know he might come back. I mean, the presidential elections aren't this year, but possibly. So good thing we didn't take a trade here. So as I mentioned, this is why I don't take the first entry, because this could be another fake out right here where price comes down and then it comes right back up. We've seen this pattern happen too much where price just fakes out. I prefer to wait for the first one to hit, and then I'll take the next one. Same with the buy over here that we were looking to take earlier. The first one came up, but the second one never came up. In order for us to take a buy here, we need this buy signal to come up. So this might be another variation right here as well. Never mind. I was going to see if it was a double wick, or double body, but it's not going to be. Yeah, Jonathan said, take it for you. Let's see. JT said, took the 10-minute V3 sell for 110 pips. Done for the week. Nice, JT. So yeah, JT over here took the sell when he saw that V1 right there, and he wrote it down. It's just a lot of it's a choppy market. So you guys can see right here that the sentiment didn't even change. People actually pulled out of their sells. So it looks like people are being kind of smart about it right now. They made their profit on it and they just pulled out. The market makers attempt to lure in some more sellers here. Just it didn't work out for them. So they might just consolidate price right here. All right, so price broke below here. Go ahead and draw more structure. Let me see where the sessions are at. All right, so target price point for this is still down here at the sessions, right? There's still two different areas that price can go to. So there's still multiple possibilities of like where price can likely go, because price can really come down here or it can come up here, back up to the sessions. Two different two areas to reach. Up here will be about a 2,600 pip move. Down here, price will be about a 1,850 pip move. Jonathan said, do you think once we go into a recession, less people will be in the market? I think more people will, personally. I feel like even though people are scared to lose money during a recession, I feel like a lot more people have less to lose, right? If someone's like on their last like $1,000, they're probably going to gamble that in the market to make it back. It kind of reminds me of that movie. If you guys remember that movie, Vegas Vacation, it's like an old movie where he had like $5 or $10 and he just gambles it all. That's how a lot of people are. Like, if you think about it, a lot of people actually would take on more risk when they have less money, because they have like nothing to lose, right? They want to throw in the market and see if it actually does something. Yeah, with Chevy Chase. Yeah, exactly. And Natasha knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, that movie's actually on Netflix right now. I saw it. Well, I didn't watch it, but I've seen it a long time ago. I saw it on Netflix. It reminded me of like the majority of people in the world, right? like people seem to take more risk when the market is kind of going crazy. But the good thing with us is that if the market does, start to move a bit crazy, you can pretty much take like every high low quick scalp because it'll like, keep going in that direction. Yeah, I think if and when we go into a recession, guys, price will start to move a lot more directional. Because it'll be heavy for a sell one day or heavy for a buy one day. And then we can literally take every high low quick scalp. Right here, we have the pending buy signal. This is what we were looking for. So if we do get the signal here, I'm going to be looking for the next high low quick scalp as price continues to obviously move along. So it looks like the market makers might be done dumping price for a bit. And they might be pushing it right back up. Because you can see here the retail traders are starting to shift. So a lot of retail traders here are going from sells to now buys, and then vice versa, buy, sell, etc. Yeah, Patrick said best skill you can learn is patience when it comes to these markets, just like the best surfers, wait for your wave. Exactly, Patrick. And I agree with you 100%. The main goal here is not to make a lot of profit. Well, I mean, yeah, the main goal is to make long-term profit a lot, but not in one day, right? The main goal here is not to lose trades. And I feel like a lot of people have the wrong picture. A lot of people try to make tens of hundreds of millions of dollars in one day when realistically it's avoiding the losses and letting your profits grow. So there's no direction here set yet, guys. There was a pending momentum here for a buy, but it didn't close. We need that buy signal in order for us to take any of these, high-low scalps or high-low quick scalps. Yeah, Jonathan said preservation of preserve the capital. Yeah, I mean, today's Friday as well. You guys know how Fridays move. They're typically kind of all over the place. Before, my live sessions used to be like twice a week, and then we went for 5 days a week or 4 days a week where I wouldn't trade Fridays. And then lately we've been going on Fridays because the market has kind of been, Fridays have been kind of hit or miss. If you guys look at our profits for like the past couple months, some Fridays are good, some Fridays aren't. I was to go to, like, did we trade last Friday? 14. Yeah, so Friday was actually a pretty good day last month. So last week. Last week I locked in some pretty decent profit on that day. We only took one trade, but it played out pretty solid. But it doesn't always play out that way. So like the past couple of weeks, even October 7th over here, the other Friday, we had 2 wins. And if you guys ever want to see the profits made for those days, you guys can just pull it up. Day before that, profit on a Friday. Friday before that. For like the past couple of Fridays, we've had a lot of wins here. Yeah, I think we haven't gone a Friday without wins in the past like 2 or 3 months. So that's why I'm kind of like patiently waiting for an entry here, but yeah, literally every Friday we've had wins. I just haven't really been taking, well, I mean, we're kind of just waiting for that entry to come. But that's the reason why we've been trading on Fridays. Typically, I don't trade on Fridays, but the market's been giving us some good entries. Today, not so much. But we'll see, as we continue to move forward with this. I'm still not convinced to take a sell here yet. We have this pending sell signal here on the 10. So next target price point is going to be the sessions right here. It's coming down for that retest. 10 minutes left, 4 minutes left on it. Yeah, Dijon said if the 10-minute daily closes with it as a sell, he might take a small lot size. Yeah, and if anything, I might take a small entry too, or a partial entry, just depending on like what type of entry we can find over here. So the 5-minute over here came up. This was actually a win. 5-minute came up right there, and the 3-minute as well. Both play out right there. So you can see the trend meter starting to change down here. But I would not recommend chasing this. So go on the 10, still bullish. This is what makes it risky because it still looks very, bullish overall. Neutral. So it's kind of coming back down to where it was earlier. All right. See, Kenny sent me a link. All right, yeah, so it says live, Biden delivers remarks on the economy. So expect the market. So I could kind of see why the market's kind of dead right now. The market's dead because a lot of people are not trying to trade before Biden speaks. A lot of people are just kind of sitting out of the market right now, waiting for something to happen. So thanks for the link right there. He's going to start speaking at 8 o'clock. So that's kind of why the market is kind of all over the place, or not really over the place, but it's kind of just flat overall. Let's see if we get this buy signal over here and price continues to push up. So we got a pending buy signal right here. This price continues to push up higher. We have a big range here now, which is not necessarily a bad thing. If we have this range that continues to push, then possibly find something right there. Yeah, so we got the sideways movement right here. We need that buy signal up close though. Let me check the sentiment again. Sentiment. So it's pretty flat at 53 now. A lot of people are just holding on to it now at this moment. Let's check the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are still pretty high, 181 points. $181. Looking over here at the heat map. Heat map is pretty mixed. I mean, not pretty mixed. It's pretty one-sided. It's very bullish right now still. There's a couple of stocks that are really red though. Like Travelers is super, or not Travelers. American Express is super down. It's down 8 points, 5%. Verizon's also down 5% as well. So they're both down pretty heavily. Any breaking news? US budget deficit cut in half for biggest decrease ever amid COVID spending. All right, so this news right here will probably push price up a little bit. I think Biden will actually help price go up a little bit. If they have a lot of good news to release. So that's why I'm still looking here for a buy. Let's see, the US budget deficit was sliced in half for fiscal 2022, biggest drop in history following 2 years of huge COVID-related spending. Budget shortfall declined to 1.375 trillion compared to the 2021 deficit of 2.776 trillion. So this will be beneficial for a buy. So I'm looking for this buy to come up as we inch closer to Biden, because it looks like people are going to start taking their buys around this area and hope that price will spike up at some point, right? So if this continues to the upside, it's great. We're looking for a buy signal here to actually close. Once it closes, we'll wait for that retracement and then possible entry here. Still no buy signal. So, okay, this is fine. If we get a buy signal right here, I'm looking for this to close. I want it to come down for a retrace. Once it comes down for a retrace, we'll have that high-low quick scalp. But we need this to actually close. Price is in this range right here. There goes price pushes up higher. not going to chase this right away. All right, looks like it's going to close on this one, which is perfectly fine. So with that said, we're looking for price to push up higher, retrace, and continue up. So we just need that high to come up. I mean, the low, sorry. We have this right here. I mean, it's fine if price consolidates it a little bit. But we'll see where this goes from here. Just looking for a low to establish now. Let's see. Patricia said, I'm out. Have a good weekend. All won't trade when Biden speaks. Yeah, no, definitely, Patricia. So yeah, definitely great profits this week, Patricia. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. I'm going to keep staying on and wait for this possible entry here if we can get one. If not, then we might have to just call it a week, unfortunately. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to stay on here for a while to maybe catch at least one entry here. I'm looking for this high-low quick scalp. There's not going to be any SR rejections here. There's no zones here at all. So the only strategy that we have an opportunity of taking a trade would be the high-low quick scalp. So we'll see where this takes us. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Anything else that you're confused with, need some clarification on, just drop your questions in the chat. Yeah, and Patrick said, or continuation. Yeah, so we have two opportunities here to take an entry. It's either going to be a V1 continuation or a high-low quick scalp, which would technically fall under it'll probably be on the same candle, Pat. So if we see a high-low quick scalp, it's probably also going to be a continuation as well, because it'll probably be a double body or a double wick. There's actually one right here. It's like a double wick, but the wicks here are just kind of too big. So, and it happened too close to this one right here anyways. So I wouldn't have taken it. Unless we get a sell signal here. If we get a sell signal here, then this is going to screw everything up at this point, because we're not going to have an opportunity to take a buy here. So we do have the low right here. The thing that you want to look out for is if the next candle has a momentum signal, right? You want to be very careful about that here. So we have the high-low quick scalp setting up right here. We got to wait for the next candle here to provide the wick rejection. The thing that you want to be careful for here is going to be the pending momentum, right? So if you see a pending momentum on the next candle, just don't take it at all. If you have a wick rejection, or if you find a wick and there's no pending momentum, go ahead and hop into it. So just a heads up, this candle is going to close in about 10 seconds. If we get a wick on the next candle, I will take it. If it has a pending momentum, I'm not going to take it. So just keep an eye out for those two things. Candle's going to close in about a few seconds. All right, so I'm watching it here. Make sure there's no. Let's see where this thing is at. So there's no pending momentum here. My entry came down right here. Let's see where it's at. It's pushing up. Okay, so we hit my TP. Some slippage, made 880 on it. It is what it is. So if you guys took that trade with me there, played out perfect, did exactly what we were looking for, waited for that wick rejection or the wick. We saw the wick right there, took the trade. There was no pending momentum, blasted right through my TP. So if you guys caught that right there, perfect, exactly what we were waiting for. And little to no drawdown right there. So if you guys took it, great. Let me check my profits real quick. Some slippage there. I don't know what happened, but there's a lot of slippage there. This is, man, I still don't understand when when this happens, but let me show you. The slippage on this is crazy. My main FTMO got 880. My FTMO copier got 1,030. My Heiko trade got 42 cents. I don't know what happened with that. The thing that drives me nuts is that this thing didn't go into drawdown at all. It literally went straight up, and then it gave me some spread out profits. My MFF gave me 430. So let me just take a screenshot of it real quick. Kind of annoying, but whatever. I'll take it for some Friday profits. So there are my profits right there. You guys can see my I'll just post it in the group real quick. Let me see. Let's give a little update here. But you guys will see the slippage was like kind of all over the place. So give that right there. Yeah, Natasha said she took it. She entered a little early. She didn't get a full profit. Sorry, I didn't get a full profit either. But yeah, so here's my FTMO. I locked in 880 off my main account. My FTMO copier, I locked in 1,030. That was what I was supposed to lock in. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, it is what it is. My Hango trade over here, my personal account, gave me 42 cents. I don't know what happened there either. And then here's my MFF. You guys can see because they're all the same profit. MFF number 1, MFF number 2, MFF number 3, all 430. So it gave me half profit. My TFF gave me a little closer to my main account, which gave me 870 about. But yeah, some slippage there. Decent profits across all my accounts on that. US30 high-low quick scalp on the live session. Lots of slippage though. So I mean, yeah, that was a ton of slippage. I mean, but whatever, what can I do about it, right? So if you guys made profit, great. If you guys didn't, I mean, it's all good. This is pretty much the entry we're waiting for pretty much all morning. I was hoping I'd get a full profit on it, but it's all good. I'll take it. Across all my accounts, I mean, it's not that bad. You add them all up. 880 plus 1030 plus $1, I guess, plus 430 plus 430 plus 430 plus 870. Total profit of 4,000 off that one trade. Pretty much sat tight for about an hour's work right there. 4,071. Not horrible, not great, but not horrible. Looks like the market volatility is starting to pick up as we get closer to Biden speaking. So I'll see if we can find maybe another entry here. If not, then we'll probably just wrap it up, because you should definitely not be trading when Biden is speaking. You're going to get some crazy price movements. So let me see if let me take a screenshot of all of my trades over here, the individual ones. All right. And so that's like, I mean, it's kind of weird because MFF typically executes a little later. So I was expecting to get more of a full profit since price pushed up right after I had my TP. But I mean, whatever. We'll just have to roll with it. Man, I gotta change my lot size on Hanko. I actually locked in 60 cents, but the fees and stuff kind of ate into it. All right, let me post up my profits over here. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to share. Otherwise, send you guys these right here. The good thing is no losses this week and no losses for this day either. Oh, there was another entry right here for a quick scalp. I don't know if anyone spotted it. There's one right here. Happened super quickly though. Nice. Joshua actually took it, hit his TP. Great work, Joshua. and Natasha actually caught it as well. It's getting close to 8 o'clock, so I'm not really looking to take any more trades now, especially with Biden speaking. It's even a bigger red flag. But if you guys caught this here, there's another entry you could have taken. So great work, Joshua, on catching that, and Natasha as well. But yeah, if you guys have profits to post up, looks like Tasha just showed hers right now. She locked in a total profit of 472 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. So solid work, and it looks like the discipline paid off. Just waiting for these entries to come up. Some more profits over here from Patrick. He said he caught his waves. Yeah, exactly, Patrick, right? We were surfing today. Waited for those waves to come. Caught them right here, full TPs on all three. So total profit of about 3,000 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. That's really what it is, guys. Like Patrick mentioned earlier, trading is like surfing. You got to wait for your wave. Once you catch that wave, you just ride it up and then you hit your TP. That's basically what we did today. Price was, bouncing all over the place. We waited for this buy signal. Once it came up, provide us our high low quick scalp right here. Quick profit, no drawdown, no worries, straight to TP. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it is 7:52 right now. It's getting really close to 8. Biden starts speaking at 8 o'clock. He's probably not going to start on time. You guys have seen that. He's scheduled to start at 8. He's probably going to start at like 8:30 because it takes him a while to get to the podium. And I say that with no jokes, but it really does take him a while because he's never on time. He'll take about like 30 minutes to an hour to get on the podium. And when that's the case, you really don't know what's going to happen in the market because a lot of people are looking to speculate, and some people are hopping in early, some people are hopping in late. It's like, it's not worth the risk because you can easily get screwed if you end up, entering too late or too early and the market's not on your side. Because a lot of people are going to be gambling around that time. Just, keep that in mind. It's a big news event. Yeah, exactly, Natasha. Natasha said 1 day of trading, not too bad. Exactly. I know you only trade like twice a week now, Natasha. So I think this will probably be more beneficial for you because I know sometimes you're going to miss entries, but if you can trade and just, make profit on those days that you actually do trade and not lose, it's going to make all the difference with being profitable long term. So here's Joshua's profits right here. He locked in a 134, 173, and 171 off this account. So great work right there, Joshua. Solid profits for a Friday, given that today is a Friday. You guys did do pretty good. Overall for the week, no losses. We had, I think, 2 or 3 wins on Monday. Let me just scroll up real quick. So yeah, we had quite a bit of wins on Monday. And I'll put the results up later, but we had, so 1 win, 1 here, or actually not this one. Yeah, so we had 1, 2, 3 wins on Monday, I think 2 wins yesterday, and then 1 win today. So not bad. I mean, 5 wins for the week, 0 losses. I mean, that's pretty good in my book. So Patrick said, Biden takes so long, you have time for a good power nap before he speaks. Exactly, right, Patrick? All right, guys, so it's getting close to 8. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up for the week. Hopefully you guys made some pretty good profit overall. I know most of us did. I did for sure. We had no losses. I was disciplined throughout the week, so didn't suffer any losses. All straight wins for the most part on these live sessions. So if there's any questions you guys have, just a reminder, on Mondays, we're doing these mentoring sessions, and they're really important because we're going to drill down on these 3 strategies that we apply during the live session. So if you guys haven't been attending the mentoring sessions, you guys should if you want to master these strategies, because you guys can see if you guys can master the strategies, wait for these perfect entries, and just take 1 or 2 trades a day, your profits will add up over time. So I think that's it for this week, guys. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to email me. You guys can email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com. If you guys are new here and you want access to these indicators that you guys can apply these strategies on your own, go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, get your access there. Otherwise, if you guys want to stick to the YouTube for now, if you guys are still getting a feel for, our strategies, our process, how we trade in the morning, the YouTube is always going to be free. So if you guys are on the YouTube, always make sure to subscribe so that you guys can get an email whenever I go live. I typically don't post the mentoring session on there when I go live. So if you are subscribed, When I do go live, you'll get an email from YouTube and they'll tell you like, hey, Sean's going live right now for this mentoring session, and you guys can sit in and watch. So other than that, guys, I think that's about it. If you guys have anything else, feel free to drop the questions in the Telegram. I'll be around for a while, but for now, I'm going to call it a day as Biden is scheduled to speak in the next 4 minutes. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday, same time, same place, as we kick off October week 4. So, all right, guys.